Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Teleios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teleiosresearch.com.
Hi, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleios. Welcome back to our podcast on learning biblical Greek. We're in Ephesians 4, verse 16. We're completing this section on the historical background of the church, where God graciously gave some in the early church before the canon to mature it with special, maybe quicker maturity or abilities as teachers, evangelists, etc., to bring the church to maturity up until the time that the canon appeared and people could all learn and become mature themselves, speaking to other people in love, as we learned last time, and to verse 16, where we see the results of this unit of this maturity based in God's word of a unified body functioning together to serve Christ. So this is an important background. Again, God emphasizes in the first part of this chapter, as we get into the Christian life section, unity, all based on salvation. And then, of course, we'll get into the specific aspects of the Christian walk next time, starting in verse 17. Now, as I have said, my interpretation, I think, is a minority. Most people would look at this as the perfection in heaven, oftentimes, and you'll have to decide for yourself. My contention is that the words used here, particularly in 12 and 13, to be equipped, to be complete, to mature, to have a knowledge of Christ that's available to Christians. These are all available to Christians in other passages. So what was the defining moment in which we could actually do this and become mature? And I think it's when we had God's word, these letters being passed around from the apostles. But that's just me. You'll have to decide for yourself. Let's go to verse 16, to the Greek. Ek is the first word. It's X here because it's followed by a vowel. So for pronunciation, ease. And OU here. So this, of course, can mean not, but in context, it is a relative pronoun. Without that TOU is the masculine, or actually it could be neuter, genitive singular. Pawn. Of course, masculine is referring back to Christ in the prior verse, because a relative pronoun is simplifying the next phrase after a personal pronoun, and in this case, it's replacing it, so referring back to Christ. Pan, that ever-present word for all. Remember, the root is P-A-N-T. In this case, it's neuter. We know that because of the ending in. There is no end, vowel or consonant on the root, in this case, in the neuter. So as you know, a Greek word cannot end in a T, so it disappears, but it can end in a N. And so there it is, pan. If it was masculine, it would be pas. To soma. So again, this is neuter, all the body. Body here, soma, it's actually a biological term. The soma is the body of a cell. It is in the neuter, masculine, and singular. Somat is the root. So again, you can't end the Greek word with a T, so it disappears and gives us soma. To, of course, is the article in front of it, tells you it's the neuter. It doesn't match the ending of the noun. So when this occurs, we then think third declension. And in this case, that works. So all the body. Ooh, now we get to a great verb here. Talk about long. Sun orbiलो gumenon, if I said that right. Let's walk through it. Our first question, as always, is there a prefix? Yes, soon, meaning with. Is there an augment? No. Armolog is the root, followed by OU, which is the vowel connector. So in this case, if you sumologo E, is root, has that epsilon E, you add the O as a vowel connector. Remember, EO contracts to OU. I don't know why that's a contraction, of course, but that's what Greek does. So then men, of course, that O then tells you it's a present or future tense, or it can be an aorist, second aorist. MEN is the morpheme that tells you it's a participle, past or middle, in every case, in the present and in the perfect and in the aorist middle. Okay. ON tells you, of course, it is the neuter singular masculine ending. Not, neuter singular nominative ending. So this is the body being built together, joined together. Our phone coming, I think, is from the word for articulation or joint. Sorry to forget that. Kai and then we have another great verb, sum bibazomenon. So sum, again, with. Bibaz is the root. O, again, is the vowel connector, present tense. Men tells you again it's the present, middle, or passive. On, same. Neuter, masculine. So neuter, singular, and nominative. So again, a sense of being joined together, brought together. Dia is a common preposition, and in this case, it takes the genitive, which means by means of. So, ophis, again, this is the ligament, and also takes the genitive. This is the genitive singular feminine in both cases, so all joint. Tis, again, this is the genitive singular feminine, and epikoregias, and it is the supply or contribution. So on or by all the joints of the supply. Okay, so we have basically where the whole body is joined together, out of the whole body, which is joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplies, would be a translation. I think I would say more directly, out of which all the body is joined together and compacted on account of all the joints of the supply. Okay. Tough section, some challenging verbs, and some vocabulary, which is not usual. But also going through it carefully helps us to better understand it. We will complete this verse next time, and I hope these videos are useful, so please join me then. Goodbye for now.